Welcome to the Solar FGCU website. Over here you can find data about the solar panels in the solar plant field. We've made some updates to the website from before, which you can find over here in the graph variables under environmental.
So in the environmental, there was none of the graphs were showing up, even also the equipment page and also the power page. None of the charts were up, and also the database wasn't actually linked to the ROC server, so it wasn't being updated every 15 minutes. So now we fixed that. We also fixed we also have redone these charts in order to make the chart come and appear on the website. And we have the ambient temperature. You have the wind speed temperature. Wind speed, and we need to edit that part. So I'm just gonna start over again. Okay. So in the graph variable, we have three sections. We have environmental, equipment, and power. And on those pages, none of those charts was up before, due to the fact that the server, the ROC server, wasn't being updated every 15 minutes because there were some issues accessing the data from Draker site. So we have fixed that. We also have redone the charts for all three of them. So on the equipment page, none of these were shown except for the text area was showing, and these were just completely blank. So we have, let's just go through them. For the environmental, this is appearing. So you can see environment graph, the ambient temperature versus time, the wind speed versus time, the wind direction versus time, and you have all the data from October 29, 2015 to December 1st, 2017. And let's see the equipment graphs. We have data logger temperature versus time. We also have cell temperature versus time, and horizontal irradiance and POA irradiance versus time. And for our power, we also have for the power graph, we have AC current phase A versus time, phase B versus time, and phase C versus time, and then the AC energy total versus time. Total number of energy that has produced based on the data it was provided. So now all these charts, we have redone them. So you can also do like 1 month, you can view 3 months, you can view 6 months, and you can, if you like look into it, like each day, you can see the timestamp and also tells you the value of how much for each phase it has produced. You can do the whole year. You can do the all the data that's in the database currently. You can also, for each chart, you can print the chart. You can download as images or PDF docs or even SVC vector images. And just to give you a demonstration, it does work. So let's say if I want to download as JPEG. So it appears on the screen. So if you hit open, and there you are. So that's how you see all the data. But I think if you view the website, it's much better because you can see the timestamp and also the data of it. So now our main project. So for the project we have done was diagnosis. Majority of it was diagnosis. So the reason we wanted to diagnose was because we wanted to compare a lot of things. So I'm going to hand it over to Vilma.
Okay, so the main purpose of the diagnosis page is for users to be able to determine what is the like what's the actual like no one speaks Spanish here. How do you say the current? Okay.
Timestamp?
The main purpose of the diagnosis page is to determine the current status of the solar plant. So what we mainly did was compare two variables in order to see if the solar plant is working correctly. So the first graph that we have compares the ambient temperature and the cell temperature, and we can see that the trend that both variables follow is similar, and here in the last part we can see that there's a straight line, and that helps us diagnose that currently the solar panels from that feed this graph are not working. What else? Okay, what did he say? I mean, what do we see the reason why there's no data? Because there's no data in the Draker, or
The sensor is either broken or just something else covering it throughout the
something is blocking it.
time.
So either
that's-
something is blocking it, and that's why you see
but
like little
what's
bit
the
of it.
data here? Here it's working, right?
Yeah, but it's not giving the correct.
There's also there was times in the Draker where it was down. I want to
So
say.
some of the days the Draco was down, so
So there's also
our rock solar
POA.
wasn't being updated.
Where's the horizontal? I don't see the horizontal up here though.
Oh, it's here.
It's down there.
It's down there, right? I mean, it looks like it works, but what day is this? 2016? Before?
Is it
In the graph, where
the
was
1st of April?
it? Yeah. Like at some point. There's nothing in April, it looks like. So we just don't have data.
Zero,
Here.
zero,
Oh. Boy.
Okay, we can just say that when the server is not running, like data is not gathered, so
we have zero for working. Zero for working.
okay, April 29.
29.
29 of what year?
Make it two first. Make it first. So, hang on. So the system wasn't running. So our application wasn't running. So that's why it wasn't giving you the
So the server application in the server was running.
yeah. The solar folder wasn't running. So that's why it wasn't grabbing the data.
How was it grabbing this data?
It was only like whenever the server was running. So whenever like maybe they ran it for like this day and then stopped it, and they.
Okay, but why when they ran it for this day, it worked for the POA, but it didn't work for the horizontal?
Yeah, something is probably blocking it. And that's the conclusion that we came to based on the Dan Professor Dan. He said either something is blocking it, like covering it. The sensor is something probably covering the sensor, or it can be also the yeah, it can be something else, like either corrupt data or something like that. But we
Okay.
can't say corrupt data. We have to say so. Probably most likely it's something covering it, or it fell in that sensor fell in the ground. Upside down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just say that.
Okay, I think you should say that because. Wait, what happened with the? Oh, this is not it. Okay. Mustafa, do you want to explain that? I don't know how to explain that. Okay, it's still recording.
All right. So in the diagnose page,
You need to explain the second part because I already explained the first one.
you do, and he does the third one. You wanna explain the second one?
You already know what to say.
I know,
You
but-
should say it.
Okay. All right. So for the second chart, which is the POA radiance and the horizontal radiance versus time, as you can see in the beginning, you have the data sets. We wanted to compare it to see what's going on and maybe diagnose and see what's going on. Maybe either the sensor went bad or something like that. So as you can see in the beginning, it was fine. They were together, and then somewhere along here, from here, it stopped working. You can see the horizontal is basically almost flat, but you do still have some data to it. So my conclusion would be the problem would be either somebody did some work sometime during this time around December 1st and or November 3rd actually, and then either something is covering it or it probably fell in the ground and nobody actually knows about it, and so that would be that's why you see a basically like flat lines, because either the sensor went bad, it could be one, or it could be somebody is covering that sensor with something when they were working on it, or the third one would be it fell in the ground. So it could be that. So that's why because it should be consistent with the POA, which is not. So yeah, that's my conclusion. So that's why we wanted to see like how much radiation received, because POA. We don't need to explain that. That's it. All right.
Okay.
I would explain the POA if I knew how you could make me do one. Let me do the POA. You can do that one.
He already explained it. Like he took like 5 minutes to explain it.
It's all right.
We
Let him
have
do
it.
it. Let him do it. So at least, but because it has to be a
I'm
teamwork
gonna-
thing.
Here we have the POA radiance and the horizontal radiance. But the POA radiance is how much energy you get from the direct sunlight, while the horizontal radiance is how much is incoming from it rebounding off like the ground or some reflective surface. It seems around this date, December 9th, that was at 2016, there must have been some problem with the sensor because the horizontal radiance hasn't been functioning correctly. So that's the reason for the flat line, and there's But overall, it should be matching the POA radiance pretty accurately like it was doing over here in the beginning.
Okay, so for the last chart, we wanted to compare AC current A, phase A. We wanted also current AC current phase B and AC current phase C. And the only reason you see a big line right here because for this whole year they only recorded the total number and they added all that in one day. But if you go to, let's say, this year or 6 months, you can see the on each day you'll have it creates the value, and you can see how much it produces basically on each day. Yeah, that's it. We wanted to see how much it produced on each phases.
Finally, we just updated some of the links that were not working. Under the news tab, there were some links that went to Naples news or news related to the solar plant, and we updated those to other links that are currently working, as well as a blog from the solar plant at Florida Gulf Coast University. Thank you.
Thanks for
Comment, subscribe.